Hello, my friends, hello, and welcome once again to stately Vaughn Manor. And it's mid-year, which means it's time to freak out. Yes, it's the mid-year freakout tag. It's a time for all the booktubers to freak out over the things that they've read. The mid-year freakout tag has become a booktube tradition, and this is the 2022 version of that. Let's do it. Question number one. Best book you've read so far in 2022. Shogun. Yeah, I think it's going to be Shogun. I read some good stuff this year, but I think Shogun is probably the book I liked the most this year. Shogun was awesome. I had a great time with that book. It's huge. Shogun by James Clavell. But I would not want it to be any shorter. Shogun, man. That's a good book. So Shogun. That's the answer to number one. Two, best sequel you've read so far in 2022. I can't think of a sequel. Well, that's not true. I'm going to say Fellowship of the Ring because that is kind of a sequel to The Hobbit. Well, it is a sequel to The Hobbit. Yeah, so Fellowship of the Ring. Let's just say that because it's the closest I can get to an answer to that question because I don't think I've read anything else that is close to a sequel. Number three, new release you haven't read yet but want to. Well, there are no real new releases I want to read that I can think of. Maybe there is and I'm just not thinking of it. They did recently put out the Elric Saga, the first two volumes of the Elric Saga. They've put those out in hardcover. They're collecting all the Elric books in hardcover volumes. And I bought those recently. They are new releases, even though they're re-releases. But I do want to read those. Which brings us, I believe, to the next question. Number four, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. That's, again, going to be the Elric Saga, the third volume, which has not come out yet. But that is one I definitely want to get, of course. And there is also going to be a new Elric volume that I think is coming out this year, but might be coming out next year. I can't remember. Maybe that's next year. I'll find out. So, yeah. There's that. Number five, biggest disappointment. That was a book called A Lush in Seething Hell. This book wasn't terrible, but I don't think the horror elements really worked, well, at least half of it. It's two novellas. And the first novella, I don't think the horror elements worked at all in it, really. And the second novella was, the horror elements were effective in that, although I think it was just too long for the story it wanted to tell. And, you know, if you've got a novella and it's too long, something's wrong. So there's that. Number six, biggest surprise. I'm going to say Cujo. I'm going to say Cujo is the biggest surprise. Because when I read that the first time, when I was a teenager, I didn't like it. There was a lot I didn't like about that book. I read it again as an older person recently, and I really, really liked it. You know, who knows how these things work. But Cujo, I'm going to say Cujo was my biggest surprise. Because it was. That was a surprise that I liked it as much as I did. Number seven, favorite new author, debut, or new to you? My favorite new author who's new to me this year, I'm going to go with Troy Tradup. Troy Tradup, who wrote The Forsaken Boy. I really like that book. He's a new author to me, so let's go with Troy Tradup. Yeah, let's go with him. Okay, number eight, newest fictional crush. I don't think I have a fictional crush this year in the books that I've read. I can't think of a fictional crush. No, I don't have one of those this year. Number nine, newest favorite character. I've got that book right here. This is what I'm going to go with for my newest favorite character because I really like this character. This is Fallon from Louis L'Amour. Fallon, that's this guy. He's a shady character. I like that book. He's my new favorite character for this year, I think. At least that's the one that was sitting right there, and so it was easy to think, oh, Fallon. Okay. 10, book that made you cry. Well, that's ridiculous. I am, of course, too macho to cry, and I would be kicked out of the Macho Booktubers Club. I'd be kicked out by the president. Hey, y'all, listen up. Hey, y'all, kick me right out of the club if I were to cry at a book. So, you know, ain't gonna happen. Okay. Number 11, book that made you happy. All of them. All of those, all of the books I've read this year. I might have said the same thing in my last freak out tag, but all of them did, except A Lush and Seething Hell. All except that one. That one, not so much. Let's see. 12, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. I've got a few. I'm going to say it's probably this one. This is The Left Hand of Darkness, the Folio Society edition. This book is really, really beautiful. So I'm going to say probably this one. A pretty big runner-up is probably I Am Legend, also by the Folio Society. Those are both really nice books. So probably one of those, I would say. But there are a few of them that I got this year that are really nice because I'm doing my 100 favorite book project this year. So I've gotten some nice books. My Dracula over here is really nice too. There are a lot of really nice books this year. Okay, 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? So of course I don't need to read any books by the end of the year. I don't need to. I did do a video on my plans, my cold rational plans, which I outline the things I want to read for the rest of the year. But the one I want to read the most, well, there's Varney the Vampire. That I really want to read. And I do have to read that by the end of the year. I have to. But also this one that I also had sitting right over here. This is The Mysteries of Paris by Eugene Sue. So the ones I really want to read the most are Varney the Vampire. Varney, which I'll just stick up here since it's all the way across the room. And this one, Mysteries of Paris by Eugene Sue. Those are the two I want to read the most. So, yeah, that was the mid-year freakout tag. So much freaking out going on over here at my channel. So that was that. So I will see you again next time here at Stately Vaughan Manor. Tomorrow I should have two videos up. I've got my comic book video, which is also going to be a June on the Range video. And since I'm already going to be wearing the outfit, I'm going to throw up my other June on the Range video that I'm planning on doing tomorrow. So there you go. June on the Range fun coming up tomorrow. Then on Thursday, I'll probably have nothing. And then on Friday, I should have something. I don't know what, but whatever it is, I will see you right back here at Stately Vaughan Manor. Thanks, guys.